Hello everyone. What if the biggest comeback in global music wasn't just about music, but about a storm quietly building behind the scenes? What if the collaboration everyone thought would elevate BTS to an even higher level is now the very thing dividing their global fandom? The moment the world heard that BTS was working with Diplo on their highly anticipated album ARIRANG, excitement exploded across every corner of the internet. Fans imagined a groundbreaking fusion, K-pop's most influential group blending their signature emotional storytelling with Diplo's bold, genre-bending production. It sounded like a guaranteed masterpiece. A global domination move. A cultural reset. But no one expected what came next. At first, everything felt perfect. The teasers dropped. The visuals were stunning. The sound snippets hinted at something bigger than anything BTS had done before. Fans stayed up all night analyzing every second, every beat, every hidden clue. The anticipation wasn't just high, it was explosive. Social media platforms were flooded with theories, excitement, and countdowns. The return of BTS after their hiatus was supposed to be nothing short of legendary. And then, Diplo spoke. In a statement that spread like wildfire, Diplo described the project as the craziest album ever. At first, fans cheered. But the more people thought about it, the more questions started to surface. What did he mean by craziest? Was it innovation or chaos? Was it evolution or a complete transformation of BTS's identity? Suddenly, curiosity turned into concern as more details about ARIRANG began to leak. Fans started noticing something different. The sound wasn't just new, it was unfamiliar. Tracks carried heavier Western influences. The production style leaned into electronic drops, experimental layering, and aggressive transitions that felt far from BTS's earlier emotional core. Some fans loved it immediately. They called it growth, reinvention, global expansion, but others weren't convinced. A wave of debate began rising across fan communities. Comments started appearing under every teaser, every clip, every discussion thread. This doesn't feel like BTS. Where is their original sound? Why does it feel like Diplo's album featuring BTS instead of the other way around? And just like that, the fandom, once united, began to split. On one side were the supporters. They argued that BTS had always evolved. From hip-hop roots to pop anthems, from introspective lyrics to global hits, change had always been part of their journey. To them, working with a producer like Diplo was not a betrayal of identity. It was proof of their ambition. Proof that BTS was no longer just a K-pop group, but a global force willing to experiment, to challenge norms, to redefine their sound. But on the other side were those who felt something deeper was at stake. These fans weren't just reacting to the music, they were reacting to what the music represented. BTS had always been known for their authenticity. Their songs carried personal stories, emotional depth, and a connection that felt real. Fans didn't just listen to BTS, they felt understood by them. And now, with ARIRANG, some began to fear that this connection was being overshadowed by a more commercial, globally tailored sound. Was this still BTS, or was this something else entirely? The conversation intensified when rumors began circulating about the production process. Insider whispers suggested that Diplo had significant creative influence over multiple tracks. Some claimed that certain songs were heavily shaped by Western production standards rather than BTS's traditional creative direction. Whether true or not, the speculation alone was enough to fuel the fire. Fans began analyzing every second of the album preview, trying to detect Diplo's influence. They pointed out similarities to his previous work. The drops, the structure, the pacing. It became almost like a game. Spot the Diplo signature. But beneath the surface, it wasn't just analysis. It was anxiety. Because for many, BTS wasn't just music. It was identity. It was comfort. It was a voice during difficult times. And the idea that this voice might be changing too drastically felt unsettling. Then came the controversies surrounding Diplo himself. Old discussions resurfaced. Past criticisms, allegations, debates that had once faded quietly were suddenly brought back into the spotlight. Fans began questioning not just the music, but the choice of collaborator. Why him? Became a recurring question. Why now? The situation grew even more complex. Some fans defended the collaboration, arguing that artists should not be limited by public perception, that music should be about creativity, not controversy. Others insisted that choices matter, that who you work with reflects your values. And just like that, the conversation was no longer just about an album. It became about ethics, identity, direction. Meanwhile, BTS remained largely silent, and no direct response. No clarification, no explanation, and that silence, it only made everything louder. Speculation turned into theories. Theories turned into narratives. Some fans believed that BTS was intentionally experimenting, testing boundaries to see how far they could go. Others believed that external pressures, industry expectations, global market demands, were influencing their decisions more than ever before. But there was one question that no one could answer. What did BTS themselves truly want? As the release date approached, the tension reached its peak. Fans prepared themselves, not just for new music, but for a moment of truth. Would ARIRANG unite the fandom again, or divide it even further? And then, the album dropped. Within hours, it dominated charts worldwide. Streaming platforms recorded massive numbers. Headlines declared it a success. From a commercial perspective, it was undeniable. ARIRANG was a global phenomenon. But success didn't silence the controversy that, if anything, it amplified it. Some tracks were immediately praised as masterpieces. Bold, innovative, addictive. Others were criticized for feeling disconnected, overly produced, or lacking the emotional depth fans expected. Reviews were mixed, not in quality, but in identity. People weren't asking, is it good? They were asking, is it BTS? Social media became a battlefield of opinions. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. Fan edits tried to restore the BTS feeling. Threads analyzing lyrics, production, and hidden meanings went viral overnight. Everyone had a theory. Everyone had an opinion. And yet, everyone was still listening. Because despite the controversy, despite the debates, despite the division, there was one undeniable truth. People couldn't look away. The collaboration between BTS and Diplo had done something unexpected. It didn't just create music. It created conversation. It forced fans to confront their expectations. It challenged the idea of what BTS should be versus what BTS could become. And maybe that was the point all along. Because evolution is never comfortable, that it's messy. It's controversial. It's uncertain. But it's also powerful. As days turned into weeks, something interesting began to happen. Some fans who initially resisted the album started to appreciate it. Layers of the music revealed themselves over time. Lyrics hit differently on second and third listens. The production choices that once felt strange began to feel intentional. Not everyone changed their mind, but some did. And that shift? It added yet another layer to the story. Because maybe ARIRANG wasn't meant to be understood instantly. Maybe it was meant to be experienced, to be debated, to be questioned, to be felt in different ways by different people. And maybe the controversy itself was part of its impact. So now, the question isn't just about Diplo. It isn't just about BTS. It isn't even just about ARIRANG. The real question is this. Is this the beginning of a new era for BTS? Or the moment that defines everything that comes next? Because one thing is certain. This isn't just another comeback. This is a turning point. And whether fans love it, hate it, or are still trying to understand it, they are all part of the story now. So what do you think? Is this collaboration a bold step forward or a risk that went too far? And more importantly, are you ready for what BTS does next?